their sector. His Excellency has concluded inspecting the parade and now has concluded the band.
Yes, the parade commander has requested and secured permission from His Excellency the President to carry on with the rest of the activities of the parade. And he thanked him for having inspected the parade. We thank you, Excellency. Now, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the President will proceed to his seat. Protocol will take charge of that. And when His Excellency has taken his seat, we shall right away have prayers from His Grace Paul Semogwira, Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese for the Christian faith, and His Eminence
Your Excellency, welcome back from that duty you have performed. You can proceed to your seat so that we shall go on with prayers.
Once again, you are most welcome, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, at this 36th NRA Victory Day here at Kololo Independence Grounds, where we're celebrating this national event under the theme celebrating the 36th NRA Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to contribute towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation journey. You're most welcome, Your Excellency.
Now that His Excellency has taken his seat, we shall have prayers conducted by the Christian faith, by His Grace Paul Semogwira, Archbishop of Kampala Diocese. And then the Muslim faith, yes, I can hear those claps, they are congratulating you, Your Grace. And His Eminence Sheikh Abdallah Semambo, the Deputy Mufti of Uganda, shall lead prayers for the Islamic faith. DJ, can you give us a song to bring them?
Let us pray. Almighty and powerful Father, we thank you for bringing us together as your family, Uganda, to celebrate the 36th NRA Victory Day. The theme chosen this year is celebrating the 36th NRA Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to contribute towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation. When we mention the call to duty, we necessarily imply the importance of corresponding rights of these duties. The basic right to work, to employment, right to human life, not forgetting the right and freedom of expression, regardless of gender, age, or cultural background. St. Paul, in his second letter to Thessalonians, teaches us that even when we were with you, we would give you this command: if anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. As we read from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. Today, we call upon your merciful hand to bless our country, Uganda, that in being patriotic to our socio-economic transformation, we may put you first in all we do, without forgetting our national motto: for God and my country. Let us remember, as we gather to celebrate, those selfless, dedicated men and women in the past and through the years who have diligently served this country and have passed on, including Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebire. Receive them in your eternal home. Gathering today at these national ceremonial grounds at Kololo, increasing in us the love for our country and renewing in us the spirit of rightful service. We ask you to kindly continue to guide our leaders, especially His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of this Republic of Uganda, the ministers, members of parliament, and all in civil service, so that together we may create a better working environment in our country, which will enable your people to benefit from their daily sweat. May all the sharing in today's event strengthen us more into one family, for we all come from you, and to you we shall all return. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Her Excellency, the Vice President, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, dignitaries in this space, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish to convey first our sincere appreciation as religious fraternity for inviting us to be part of you on this great day, on this great occasion when we celebrate 36 years of NRA victory. We are cognizant of the fact that celebrating 36 years of NRA victory today is not simply a matter of appreciating space of time by virtue of the many years that have rolled by, but rather a sincere and objective insight into the many strides achieved in the transformation of the society. On behalf of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council in particular, we therefore commend all the efforts that keeps the country image up, and we pray well for all minds and souls of those that have and continue to contribute to peace and progress of the economic transformation of Uganda. O Allah, you are the source of glory, mercy, and wisdom, and whosoever you grant any of your favors stands out and extends service to humanity. We want to thank you for enabling the great minds behind the progress and development of the security organs in this country, Uganda. We pray that you continue making this institution mightier to be able to offer services that respond to the prevailing dilemmas in the country. O Allah, bless all today's intended activities. We dedicate them to you, that you allow ease to prevail. O Allah, we ask you to protect us from all insecurities and soften those with evil hearts to be peaceful. O Allah, now that the country has opened, we continue to pray for your guaranteed protection for all of us. We want to commend and recognize the role the NRM has caused, not only to promote freedom of worship, but also the cardinal relationship with the religious fraternity jointly to promote peace and development. O Allah, guide the President and his government to lead the nation towards prosperity and development. Bless them with wisdom and courage to take the people of Uganda along your path of honesty and integrity. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتوب علينا مولانا إنك تواب الرحيم. For God and my country. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We thank you, Your Grace, the Archbishop, Kampala Diocese, and Your Eminence, the Deputy Mufti of Uganda. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, now we shall have the parade march past in slow and quick march time. Your Excellency, the parade, as I informed, is mounted by Uganda People's Defense Forces, Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Service, and Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Service, and Uganda Wildlife Authority. The commander is Colonel Armstrong Nduga, and second in command, Lieutenant Colonel Betty Wanyera Musuya. Your Excellency and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are requested to all rise as the national colors come to the saluting base in honor of the national colors. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. Dear guests, we may resume our seats. Thank you. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the parade is now in quick march time. And Your Excellency will once again request you and our distinguished guests to again rise when the colors reach the saluting base in honor of the national colors. Thank you, Your Excellency, and to our guests. We request to resume our seats, Your Excellency, and the distinguished guests. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Moto wawaka mama moto wawaka.
Moto wawaka mama moto wawaka.
Moto guli waka kabamba.
Wawaka 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 moto
guli waka.
Good night, soft cheeks. It's time to sleep. Peaceful nights start with skin protection. That's why new Pampers Pants offer double skin protection. Its absorbent layer locks wetness away, and its built-in moisturizing skin lotion protects baby's skin all night. Pampers Pants, double skin protection.
Uganda mbanjulira Tabula Property Services balina estates ku buli luguudo lwonna olufuluma City Kampala ettaka liri kwalaali lyashuwa nga bw'ogula ekyapa ky'ogenda nakyo. Tabula Property Services bagula era batunda ettaka n'amayumba. Ettaka litandikira ku miliyoni 5 ate nga za kibanja mpola okulambuza bakasitoma twabwerere. Balina plot enteeketeeka obulungi n'ebyapa byazo basaveeyinga ettaka ate nga abakozi baabwe batendeke bulungi nnyo. Basange Nansana ku masitowa Market Building room number 18 ne room 19. Esimu noti 7 noti emu 942 noti 3 oba noti 7 noti emu noti 5 Tabula Property Services Limited. Own property, own wealth.
Buganda kumucha. Buganda kumucha. Buganda kumucha. Buganda kumucha. Buganda kumucha. Buganda kumucha drink kyekyokunywa abantu kye bayayanira ensanju zino ate nga kisangibwa mu matundiro wonna mu ggwanga.
watakayinza kuloga omwana wa omwami bwabuganda kombucha bwe bukyanga bagiza baabi byemwagabuza tebabyagala olabe banje basidduka.
Buganda kombucha drink.
Semaduka ey'omulembe eyitibwa Fabulous Freeman Hypermarket ekuletedde ebintu eby'omulembe by'obadde tonnaba kusanga wantu wonna mu kibuga Kampala ate nga bya bbeeyi esobolwa buli muntu. Mulimu ebikozesebwa awaka mu ffumbiro omuli blenders, rice cookers, amasepiki ag'omulembe n'ebyuma ebibugumya emmere biyite warmers. Tufumba emmere ebeera ever ready n'ebyokulya ebya buli ngeri. Tutunda ebikozesebwa mu masomero n'ezi office, eby'amasannyalaze, perfumes ez'ebika byonna ate nga za mulembe, eby'abaana ne kalondo omulala mungi okuva mu nsi ezisinga okukola ebintu ebirungi. Tutuukirire leero ofune ekyenjawulo ky'obadde tonnasanga wantu wonna mu Kampala. Fabulous Freeman Hypermarket, Namirembe Road ku mwaliro ogwokubiri. Balina n'obuwunguzi okukwanguyiza embeera. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku ssimu eno not 7 not emu not 5 34 86.
Moto wawaka mama moto wawaka.
Moto wawaka mama moto wawaka.
Moto guli waka kabamba.
Wawaka wawaka wawaka
moto guli waka kiboga.
Wawaka.
Your Excellency, at this juncture, we, the Assistant Directors of Ceremonies, we would like to hand over to the Director of Ceremonies, the Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Miri Babirye Babalanda. Your Excellency, as she comes, the theme talks of a journey, and you have walked us through the journey. It has not stopped. Journey yakatandika. So the question is, where did this journey start? We've been discussing this, but we have come to this one. It is written in Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. It says, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Your Excellency, this journey you are walking through with us, this is where it started. Even before you were born, God had already appointed you president of this nation. That is why you have done so well. That is your calling. So it did not start in 1981. It did not start in 1986. But earlier on, before you were born, you were called to this service as president of this nation. That is why you have guided us so well. You have the anointing for it.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and National Chairman of the mighty party NRM, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Rose Pale Halupo. His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Alfonso Winyidolo, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Anita Anetamo, His Lordship, the Deputy Chief Justice, Richard Butera, the Right Honorable First Vice Chairperson of NRM, retired Brigadier General Alhaj Moses Chigongo, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, the Right Honorable Second Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Leader of Government Business in Parliament, retired General Moses Ali, the Right Honorable NRM Secretary General, Richard Todong, all the Cabinet Ministers present, all the Ministers of State present, visiting delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo, led by Honorable Dr. Gilbert Kabanda, Kurenga, all the head of diplomatic missions, all the members of Parliament, all the former national leaders, especially His Excellency Gilbert Bukenya, His Excellency Edward Chiwanuka II, all the traditional leaders present, Head of Public Service and Secretary of Cabinet, all service chiefs, all the religious leaders, the National Chairperson Women Council, His Grace, the Most Reverend Paulo Semogerere, His Eminence, the Deputy Mufti Sheikh Abdallah Semambo, all the invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, you are also joined by a visiting delegation from DRC. Honorable Dr. Gilbert Kawanda Hurenga, Minister of Defense. Your Excellency, I request this delegation to stand for your recognition. General Mbalamsense Celestine, CDF. Major General Bombel Lohora Camille. Brigadier General Kasong Maloba Robert. Brigadier General John Kinyawuma Kamakinde. Brigadier General Mpenzo Mbale Bruno. Colonel Mananga Makaya Cyprian. Colonel Emedi Mauricio Albert. Mr. Lapute Kangalie Elvis. Warrant Officer 1 Kaeja Naurunga Jane. Your Excellency, I most warmly congratulate you upon marking the 36th NRA Victory Day anniversary. Your Excellency, sir, the theme of this year's celebration is celebrating the 36th NRA Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to contribute towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation journey. This theme reminds all the compatriots of their duty in nation building and to reflect on the journey of 36 years of sacrifices and commitment to transforming this country. Today, Ugandans are coming together to reflect on events 36 years ago, on January 26, 1986, when the determined and brave NRA fighters, under your able leadership, captured Kampala, and upon that, restored and entrenched peace and stability in our country. We therefore, on this day, take the opportunity to celebrate the sacrifices and extraordinary efforts of our countrymen, countrywomen who have worked so hard to reverse the state of economic decline, social unrest, disrespect of security of person and property, among other challenges which had befallen Uganda at that time. Ugandans are proud of this liberation, which has fundamentally changed their lives and the prospects of their children. This day is therefore a fitting tribute to the heroes who fought for this freedom, but particularly to you, Your Excellency, for your revolutionary leadership. Finally, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Presidency, I wish to pledge total support of the Presidency to your initiatives that are intended to transform the lives of Ugandans. As Presidency, we are implementing programs that are aimed at improving service delivery. We have adopted the Apex platform that will be used to undertake performance audits of public services and to ensure effective implementation of the NRM manifesto. Your Excellency, on a sad note, however, as we celebrate this anniversary, it's with much regret and we learn of the demise of our Professor Emmanuel Tumusimi Mutebire, who has been the key pillar of Uganda's much celebrated economic recovery program promised in 1986. We have also lost Mrs. Prosinaga Imuzira, a long-time member of the National Organizing Committee for the National Ceremonies and staff of the President's Office. And also, sir, Mr. Magunda Sosan, my biological father, who passed away last week. With your permission, sir, I request that we observe a minute of silence in remembrance of their contributions. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Your Excellency, I now take the opportunity to invite you to come and address the nation. Thank you, sir.
Her Excellency the Vice President, His Lordship the Chief Justice, the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Ministers, Members of Parliament, there His Grace the Archbishop Paul Somogere, we congratulate you on your nomination and installation. His Grace the Deputy Mufti, all our visitors from Congo, our brothers, karibu sana wa Kongo, Wakongomani karibu sana nyumbani hapa. Tunawakaribisha. And ladies and gentlemen, members of the armed forces, commanders and militants, I would like to use this day of the 36th year since NRM came into government to congratulate all the members of the NRM and all the Ugandans on this day. Congratulations. We fought for very serious reasons, and that's why on this occasion some limited report should be given as to what has been achieved. The economy of Uganda now will be $44 billion in July. When we started, it was only $1.5 billion. This means that the economy has grown 29 times since that time in size. And in July, the GDP per capita will be about $980. That is very near the middle income status, which is $1,039. So in July, we shall be about $50 short of the middle income status. And we would have achieved the middle income status if it had not been for the corona. But in this Sanja, we shall definitely achieve it because we are near. This one, we have been developing in spite of the increase in the population. Because in 1986, population was on about 14 million. It is now 44.2 million. However, I'm not satisfied with this level of growth. It is high time to rapidly develop to high middle income status, not just low middle income status. I do not fully agree with our planners who keep talking of these rates of growth of 7%, 6%. We can grow rapidly to a much higher level. Why do I say this? I say this because some of the people have already achieved high middle income status at individual, homestead, or even area level. You find some areas of Uganda which are already in the high middle income level. I will, for instance, take the example of the group near Fort Portal in the Rwengaju parish, led by Mr. Nyakana. Nyakana and the group are now earning 240 million shillings per year from just, I think, 2 acres or 1 acre. $240 million shillings a year. Now, that if you put it in dollars, that's about $66,000. If you assume that a family has 5 members, then the per capita is $13,000 per person in those families. Now, if all of us were to wake up and follow what we have been telling you, just using agriculture alone, not taking into account the other sectors, because here I'm talking about just agriculture, our economy will not be $40-something billion. It will be $586 billion. It will be more than $500 billion, which is approaching countries like Turkey and so on. So therefore, on this occasion, this is what I'm demanding from especially the NRM leaders. We should not just go on being called leaders when we are leading nobody, when we are not leading nobody anywhere, just running around. If these people can achieve this, if Nyakana and his group can achieve it, why not everybody else who has got land especially? I'm going to launch, I think tomorrow, I will launch the parish model, development model. This is what I will demand from all those involved. We cannot go on talking of this minimalist approach. We must take advantage of the full potential of the economy of Uganda. And in order to do this, I need to remind you of the way forward, the way we have been advising you for years now. The sectors of wealth creation are four. From where you can get wealth and jobs. Sector one, agriculture. This alone can push us to the middle income, to the high, not low, but high middle income level. And in agriculture here, we need to be clear about the two modes of commercial production. One mode, intensive agriculture, where you use a small area to get high returns. In 2018, when I made a countrywide tour, I gave you a detailed guidance on this. It is written in a booklet entitled 4 sectors, 7 areas, 7 activities. Number 1, an acre of coffee, high colonial coffee. Number 2, an acre of fruits, selected fruits, which you know. Acre 3, dairy farming, pasture for dairy, for zero grazing. Acre 4, for food crop for the family, whatever you want to grow, cassava, whatever. In the backyard, poultry for eggs, pigs, and those who are near the wetlands, fish farming. I've told our people to look at other activities like vegetables, because I have not done the calculation there myself. But these are the ones we recommend for the people who have got 4 acres or less. Now, for the people with more land, more flexibility, because these 7 are not the only things we need in Uganda. We need cotton for our textile factories. We need tobacco, those who want to destroy their lungs. We must arrange for them also, so that they destroy their lungs using at least our local tobacco. Maize. We need maize. Maize is very important for very many other things. Sugar cane, avocado, tea. These are crops from which you cannot get enough money if you grow them in a small area. The country needs them, so they must be grown. But they must be grown by somebody who has got more land than the 4 acres. So here, we are talking of extensive agriculture. Therefore, please, intensive agriculture, we cannot go on beating about the bush. Mukole na manyi, mwesebe biri, just empty talk. Without giving clear guidance, researched guidance to the people. Okubatomeza. Make the people make mistakes because you don't give them enough guidance, because you have not done any research. You are just running up and down without any research. So that is sector 1. And that's where we can push the country to high middle income country just using agriculture alone. But agriculture alone cannot sustainably move if you don't add industry. Industry to add value, to process the fruits, process the cotton, process the milk, or process the tea, process the coffee. All those need to be processed. So that is sector 2. Then services, tourism, hospitality. I was watching on TV, our grandchildren are now really drinking, that we have opened, they are just drinking like mad. So the drunkards are very happy now. That is all services. And then finally, ICT. So therefore, this time, I'm normally polite and talk, hoping that people will pick by themselves, especially the leaders. But this time, I'm really going to be even rude to people, because we are wasting a lot of time. We want Uganda to be a high, not just a low-level middle-income country, which we shall achieve for sure in 1 or 2 years, but to be high middle-income economy. We are already moving, because not only are we moving in agriculture, of course now we have a lot of products already. We have a lot of surplus of milk, surplus of maize, surplus of bananas, sugar, and so on. These are already in surplus. But we need more, and we shall be able to market them either within Uganda or in the region or internationally. Some people are talking of surplus maize. What shall we do with the maize? What shall we do with the sugar? The answers are there. If there is no regional market, then we can turn the sugar, we can turn the maize into petroleum, into ethanol. And the law is being worked on to force petrol companies to mix their petrol products with 20 or 25% of ethanol produced from our surplus maize or surplus sugar. So that issue of too much sugar, will be sorted out. If the regional people don't buy the sugar, we shall turn it into ethanol. Our cars will use it, and we shall knock out a big amount on the import bill. But our people, and I'm confident we can do this because why? Because our people are now educated. The literacy rate is now 77%. All the children, many of the children in the villages are literate. But we have also got high-level scientists. So we are going into new areas of the economy, like the vehicle industry, the automotive industry. We are making our own buses now, our own cars, the electric car, making our own pickups, assembling all sorts of things here. The pathogenic economy, the one of vaccines and medicines, pharmaceuticals, all those, our people are very active and moving there. And in the other agro-processing industries, we are going to, apart from processing food, fibers like cotton, we are going to add forest products so that we produce our own paper instead of importing paper from bamboo, for instance, or trees, processing minerals, etc. So therefore, the journey forward is going to be serious, intense, but also profitable. Now, in the services sector, now that the corona has gone down, economy has been opened now, the tourists will be able to come. The entertainment, I saw them last night, they were really entertaining themselves. The hospitality industry, and so on. So therefore, this is the time now to go to another level. Don't continue talking about small things. Let's go to high, middle income level. Target an economy of $500 billion, not just a few billions, no. That's not enough. And I'm sure we can achieve it. Fortunately, we have negotiated with our brothers in Africa. There is the African continental market, common market. We have got market access to the United States products under AGOA, the European Union, China. So the markets are there if we produce the products of the right quality. We fought with Corona, as you saw. I want to thank Ugandans and congratulate them for listening to our advice to observe very strict restrictions for 2 years now. Congratulations. Abana-Uganda nalimba manyi nti tebali kisobola kubalema kubanga nalimba kulembeddeko mu lutalo olw'emmundu kye twabawabulanga mwakikolanga naku luno mukikoze. Mwebale nnyo Abana-Uganda, mwebale. These international media groups are not serious. You really wonder how people can be not serious. First of all, everybody was amazed about how Uganda observed serious lockdown for 2 years. Bona bachewunya. They wrote about it. BBC, Al Jazeera, I even heard some that New York Times and things like that. But what is amazing is that they miss the point. When they talk about the lockdown, they say, girls got pregnant in lockdown. This is what they are talking about. That's what they are talking about. Oh, girls got pregnant. Girls got pregnant. Being pregnant is not dying. You fellows, Al Jazeera, BBC, please, can you not understand that being pregnant, a young girl, is a complication, but it's not dying. The original problem, the one who were fighting, was dying on a big scale. And we succeeded. I don't know who took the cup in fighting corona in the world, but I think Uganda fared among the topmost. Because after 2 years, we have lost 3,000 something people who died. Some of the other people lost almost, some of them lost almost 1 million in one country, 1 million people who died in a year. Here, we are talking of 3,000 something. And those who have been infected all these years, 2 years, 160,000. If you watch what happens in other countries, 160,000 are infected in one day. So I congratulate Ugandans for listening to our advice. The children who got pregnant, we are going to discuss with the bishops. Some of them are here. We shall find a solution for them. There are some arguments. Should a child come with ortundu? In Nyankwele they call it ortundu. When you are pregnant and the stomach is showing, it's called ortundu. Should the children come with ortundu in the school? That one I will discuss with the cabinet first and with the other people. Should the child come breastfeeding in the school? That one we shall again discuss quietly among ourselves. But what I can tell you straight away, what I will not agree to, whatever happens, is to condemn a child not to continue with her education because she got pregnant once. That one I cannot accept. I cannot accept. It is neither logical nor certainly religious. Because if the child had a problem or made a mistake, you cannot condemn her for all her life. So the rest, that one is the minimum. But I hear the religious leaders seem to be agreed on that. The only issue is about these other two, the breastfeeding and the rutundu, coming with the rutundu there in the classroom. I don't want to give my views on that because I want to hear the views of all the others, but I have some views also. But for the going back to school, the children will go back to school, to the government schools. They will go back because you cannot, if mature entrants, abakaikuru, abakaire, if they can go back to school and study when they are in their 40s, 50s, why can't the child go back to school and study after she has had a problem? But should she go with the rutundu? That one we shall discuss. Should she go breastfeeding? That one we shall discuss. But anyway, what was amazing for Al Jazeera and BBC was that in the lockdown, the only thing they were talking about were children who got pregnant. Bambi, these countries are really in trouble. They have got so much poor leadership, you pity them. What sort of people are these? People are dying and we're just talking about only this one. And they don't bring out that Uganda, because of the lockdown, they succeeded in minimizing the death. They don't talk about. They only talk about children who got pregnant. So I congratulate Ugandans. Thank you so much for passing the test. This was the test. This was a test, and we passed it reasonably well. Now, finally, as you can see, I'm glad that our brothers from Congo are here, from DRC. We are working together to stop that little problem of ADF. ADF is nothing. We shall defeat them. We defeated them here. They were from here. We defeated them. The LRA coin were here. We defeated them. So they go to kill our brothers and sisters in Congo. They once in a while they come and plant bombs here and kill some sheikhs. That one we. So I want to thank His Excellency President Tshisekedi for having allowed us to work with our brothers to finish that little problem. These children, these young children who had joined ADF, they had got spoiled. 20 years killing people, looting people's things. You can imagine in Congo, that part of Congo, people there are very hardworking. They grow cocoa. They grow cocoa, among other things. So what was happening all these years is that when the cocoa would be ripe, the ADF would come and chase people and harvest the cocoa and sell it and get money. And they had business agents in the towns there, Beni, Goma, even here in Uganda, they had business agents who were selling the stolen coffee for them to get money, to live a good life, to send to their families, but also to buy materials to make bombs and so on. And also minerals, digging minerals and selling them. So we are working with the Congo government. It is easier to defeat these groups. It's not all that big problem. We have a long experience in doing it, and we shall defeat them. But you can see the problem which is happening now in more parts of Africa. The problem in West Africa started with the attack on Libya by the people. You remember I talked of some people on the inauguration here. I talked about some people who couldn't listen to Africa. They attacked Libya, and all the terrorist groups which were in Libya now spread out. In the whole of what they call the Sahel, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Now, I would like to really invite the African people, leaders, to sit down and we exchange views on how to build strength in Africa. We have some experience here. We can share it with others. Otherwise, what's happening now is going to take us back, because the civilian leaders failed to build strength, to build, for instance, strong armies. Then the terrorists come and take over the country. Then there is a military coup, like the ones which have happened in Guinea and Mali and now recently in Burkina Faso. Now, those soldiers are not accountable to anybody. Nobody elects them. So how can they do a better job? You remember what was happening here in the 1960s with Idi Amin and so on. Wasting time. We wasted a lot of time. Idi Amin wasted our 8 years. All the things, many of the things we were planning, you had to be abandoned. For instance, you remember by 1971, we had the East African Community. And it was moving well with Mzee Obote, Mzee Kenyatta, Mzee Kaunda. Actually, Kaunda was about to join the East African Community, Zambia. Even Somalia had applied. Now Idi Amin comes in. The community breaks up completely. So after 16 years of now having sorted out all that problem, that's when we come and bring back the community and so on and so forth. Now DRC has now come in. We are beginning, but we would have been very far if Idi Amin had not wasted our time. But all these issues are easy to, can be dealt with. I don't want to say easy because I don't know why people. But here we have built some strength for sure. We have 6,000 soldiers in Somalia. They have done some limited work there because of the people we work with. We work with people who don't want to go far. They want to half cultivate the garden. They don't want the whole garden to be cultivated. They leave Urumbugu there. Why don't you uproot all this Urumbugu? Rimawa no woka. Okay. Ati tunakola ki? Tubereyo mu Mogadishu tulima Urumbugu oli awo mu town. Katuli Urumbugu oli eri munda oluleke katusigareyo. So we are there, but we were able at least to deal with the towns in Mogadishu. And when His Excellency Tshisekedi allowed us, we were able to move. And we are going to move now. What we did was first phase, we call it, first phase. They really got punishment to those criminals. Tebawulira ngoko muliro ngogo gwetwabasumulula. Ate n'okumanya tebamanyi. You know, this is the whole problem of Africa. Abantu abatalina kye bamanyi babeera awo ne befuula ng'abalina kye bamanyi. Kati buno obwana okugenda waliwo ekikampi kyabwe kiri awo bali bakiyita kambi ya Yuwa. N'obeera awo simanyi kilomita meka kuva ku nsalo ya Uganda newefuula awo n'okolerawo efujjo n'otamanya nti lumu Katonda alikiriza Uganda n'ekusaanyaawo. Tebumanyi, they don't know. They don't know what war means. They talk about war, they don't know what war means. They don't even know how to fight. But Africa should not allow those novices to disturb our peace and our agenda. We shall get in touch with the West African leaders and see how to harmonize our thinking. So, with these few words, again I congratulate the Ugandans, the NRM people, on the 36 years of NRM management of the country, but even more on the earlier years of the struggle which you persecuted very well. Some of the correspondence in Uganda are beginning to be serious. I was reading some articles in Monitor. Monitor never nange taliso kuandika ebirimu amagezi. Monitor mugimanyi? Monitor omusajja buli eyo bubadde bukola ebitotegerekeka naye kati olwaleero ndabite Katonda gyali. Monitor newandiika ebirimu amagezi. In one page, I think it is, the inside page, I think it is 32 or 42. 32. I don't have time to. They were writing, you should go and read it. But I found it interesting. There's a boy called Faustin Mugabe. Mugabe yani. Awandika bulijjo. Now, he was writing in that supplement there inside, the recovery of the industry in Uganda. And he was talking about soap. Maybe I can see it. Let me see what I can see. Boraba Monitor newandi sikirimu amagezi omanya nti Katonda n'ateera okujja. Oh, I may follow it, and away. On the page, on the supplements, page Roman 32. If you are Roman, mubimanyi. Abaroma bawandikanga XXX, that means X is 10. Awazibera bwezibera esatu zibera asatu mu bbiri. Kati omwami Mugabe, when the National Resistance Movement government came to power in January 86, production was very low. In the manufacturing section, all the factories were running after half capacity and below. Crop production was equally very low. But in the first 366 days under the NRM government, a lot of growth was recorded in production and exports, partially as a result of the peace restoration by the NRM government. Below are some of the records from production and exports of some crops extracted from the 1988-89 National Budget Report. Kati olaba kati Monitor naye wandika ebirimu egezi. Kino kyakwewuunya nno. Oba Katonda akyaddeyo simanyi. Kati ne bawandika soap production. Soap, sabuni, was one of the most scarce essential goods in Uganda when the NRM government came to power. In 1986, only 3,292 tons of soap, both for bathing and washing, was produced. But the following year, 15,000 879 tons were produced in the sole manufacture factory owned under Mukwano Industries in Kampala. So, soap production went from 3,000 tons a year to 16,000 tons. Monitor everyone is saying no. Kati bw'olaba ente eyogera ng'omuntu. Omanye nti Katonda azze. Kati owa monitor bw'avudde ku sabbuuni n'agenda ku batamiivu. Before 1986 and shortly thereafter, beer and soft drinks were often smuggled into the country from neighboring Kenya. Beer and soda. Beer and sodas were smuggled into Uganda because production in the factories was far less than the capacity production because of poor factory equipment, which often broke down and lacked spare parts, or because of poor management of the company. But with improved security in the country, beer production in the country was reportedly increased from 6.6 million liters in 1986 to 16.4 million the following year. Oyo ye monitor awandiise bino. Naye abiwandiise abijja mu mpapula za gavumenti eza budget ez'obudde obwo. N'olwekyo we have moved very well, but we need to move much more aggressively. We cannot be content with remaining where we are. With these few words, I congratulate you and I wish you good luck.
We thank you so much, Your Excellency the President, for that address to the nation and those important words of encouragement, hope for peace, security, and socio-economic transformation of the country. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I request you permit us invite the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery to request you to award honors to different categories of personalities as will be presented by the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery. Major General George Igumbasa, Chief of Personnel and Administration of the EPDF, and Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, Her Excellency the Vice President, His Lordship the Chief Justice, Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State, Their Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Honorable Members of Parliament, Service Chiefs, Their Worship, the religious leaders, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I'm Major General George Igumba, the Master of Ceremonies for the Chancellery, to run you through this last part of today's celebrations as per law established. In accordance to Section 3, Part 2 of the National Honors and Awards Act of 2001, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda has awarded medals to 50 persons at the 36th NRA-NRM Victory Anniversary celebrations. The medals are the 50th National Independence Medal, the Nalubale Medal, the Luwero Triangle Medal, and the Special Service Police Medal. The names of the 50 awardees were duly considered by the Presidential Awards Committee, comprising of 10 members, chaired by Dr. Beatrice Wabdea and Hajat Malole Zamina as Secretary to the committee. The awardees have been categorized as follows. 50th National Independence Medal, there are 29. Nalubale Medal, only 1 person. Luwero Triangle Medal, 4 persons. And Special Service Police Medals, 16 persons. Now, award of the National Independence Medal. As per Section 3.2, Second Schedule, Part 1 of the National Honors and Awards Act of 2001, the National Independence Medal is awarded in recognition of outstanding service and loyalty to the country from 9th October 1962 to 9th October 2012. And on the list are Professor Patrick Engeo Ogwang, Professor Patrick Engeo Ogwang possesses a PhD in pharmacy and pharmacology from Makerere University. He is a renowned researcher in herbal medicines, head of pharmacy and senior lecturer at Mbarara University of Science and Technology, and a former executive member of the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda. Professor Patrick Engeo Ogwang is the founder of the Herbal Remedy Covidex, a supportive COVID-19 treatment. He is also the leading researcher of Biotrack that produced a sanitizer, FarmSan, in response to curbing down COVID-19, served as the research officer at the Natural Chemotherapeutics Research Institute, Ministry of Health, Uganda. Next on the list is Dr. Joseph Brown Chigula Mugambe. Dr. Mugambe is a specialist radiologist and worked at Mulago Referral Hospital, Department of Radiology, from 1984 to 1985. He started radiotherapy in Mulago that has saved lives of cancer patients. He is a director, X-Ray Care and Ultrasound Center Limited, and a member of the Atomic Energy Council from 2009 to date. He is the chairman, board of directors, Cancer Platform, Uganda Limited, Kampala. He was a senior consultant, radiation oncologist, and head, Department of Radiotherapy, Mulago National Referral and Teaching Hospital from 2004 to 2014, where he transformed the department to the use of radiology. Next is Professor Msuke Philippa. Professor Philippa Msuke has pediatric specialty training and child health in the School of Medicine at Makerere University College of Health Sciences. In addition, she is the site principal investigator for the Makerere University Johns Hopkins University Clinical Research Site in Kampala, Uganda. Professor Msuke is board certified in pediatric infectious diseases and has been conducting clinical trials in perinatal HIV prevention and childhood tuberculosis since 1995, and implementing studies, programs for pediatric antiretroviral therapy in resource-limited settings. Next is Dr. Joseph Epidor. Dr. Joseph Epidor was the lead surgeon of the team working at Soroti Hospital, when we were faced with a conjoined baby girl twins. One was dead and the second live was attached to the decomposed sister, who was a stillbirth. They were referred to Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. However, on assessment, they were further referred to Mulago National Referral Hospital for better management. Mulago apparently had no capacity to help the baby attached to a dead one, sharing a liver, chest, wall, and etc., and at risk of being poisoned. The family finally returned to Soroti, and true to the Hippocratic oath he took at Makerere University years ago, Dr. Joseph Epidor assembled the team and went into theater to separate the twins. 5 hours later, Epidor emerged, having successfully separated the live baby from the one that had been dead for 6 days. Dr. Joseph Epidor's team, other members, are Dr. Namugenyi Josephine, medical officer, Dr. Reverend Sister Ajiko, Mary Margaret, consultant surgeon, Dr. Ntege Joan, a medical officer, Dr. Ochen Innocent, an intern doctor, Dr. Nakawesa Amina, intern doctor, Dr. Alarokel Florence, senior consultant, pediatrician, Dr. Nakuburwa Claire, medical officer, Mr. Kim Jackson Moding, senior anesthetist officer, Mr. John Guma Ambaga, senior anesthetist officer, Mrs. Zenaida Chitui, anesthetic officer, Sister Chivetenga Medrin, recovery nurse, Sister Alekat Sarah, recovery nurse, Sister Ajulong Jennifer, instrument nurse, Mr. Ebwalu Daniel, theater nurse, and last but not least, Sister Ajok Margaret, a recovery nurse. Next on the list, Your Excellency, is Professor Monica Chibita. Professor Monica Chibita is a senior lecturer at Uganda Christian University, Mukono, who has encouraged and supported many women to achieve their goals and aspirations. She is a counselor who has helped the girl child to excel. She was appointed head of Department of Mass Communication at Uganda Christian University. She nurtured the department into the Faculty of Journalism, Media and Communication, and by March 2019, the faculty started offering a Bachelor of Journalism and Communication degree. a Master of Arts in Journalism and Media Studies degree, and Master of Arts in Strategic Communication. In May 2019, Uganda Christian University promoted Dr. Monica Balia Chibita to the rank of full professor in recognition of her body of work. As of May 2020, the United Kingdom Top Journalism Board appointed Professor Monica to be part of the board, becoming the second black woman to make it to the board. She is also the second professor of journalism in Uganda, after Professor Goretti Linda Nasanga of Makerere University. Dr. Chibita is the chairperson of the board of directors of the New Vision Printing and Publishing Company. Next is Dr. Catherine Nakalembe. She's a Ugandan scientist working with the National Aeronautics and Space Agency of the United States of America as the Africa Program Director in the National Aeronautics and Space Harvest Program. She is a food security laureate with a master's degree from Johns Hopkins University. She has a PhD in geographical science, and her research aimed to highlight the consequences of the drought on land use and on the lives of northeastern Ugandans, which was the first step in forming the basis for the remote sensing element of the disaster risk financing project, which has supported over 75,000 households in the region since its inception, saving the Uganda government resources that would otherwise go towards emergency assistance. Her remote sensing and machine learning technology has supported agriculture and food security across Africa. She has conducted research in remote sensing of drought, agriculture, and leading the integration of Earth observations in agricultural monitoring of smallholder agriculture and multiple countries. Next, Your Excellency, is Perus Chemtai. She took up running in 2013 after attending the District Athletics Champions in Buko as a casual fan. At the 2015 Commonwealth Youth Games in Apia, she won silver medals in the 1,500 meters and 3,000 meters. She won the gold medal at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo in the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase race, becoming the first Ugandan woman ever to win an Olympic medal. Next is Chipulimo Jacob, a Ugandan long-distance runner who competes in track running events. He is the 2020 half-marathon world champion and represented Uganda at the 2016 Summer Olympics. At age of 16, Jacob Chipulimo produced a performance of a lifetime to win gold in the men's under-20 race at the 2017 International Amateur Athletes Association. On 17 September 2020, Chipulimo won a Diamond League 3,000-meter run in Rome, the fastest 3,000-meter since Kenenisa's in August 2017. Chipulimo's time is the 8th fastest time ever. Next, Your Excellency, is Mr. Mawerere Charles. Mawerere Charles is a model cassava farmer who distributes free cassava stems to communities to fight hunger and ensure food security. He has helped farmers add value to their cassava by advising them to sell flour instead of raw cassava, which initiative has improved household income for the whole people in his area. He has constructed energy-saving stoves for all the blind in the district of Jinja. He planted trees at all health center tools in Buwenge Rural, answering the call for sustainable environmental protection. He is a pillar in sustainable socio-economic development, despite his disability. Next is Sister Mwangale Mubeke Robina. She's a senior health educator by profession. During the response to Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus and COVID pandemic in Jinja, she was the first to visit hotspots of the epidemic. She aired messages on how to manage diarrhea among the under 5 years, which contribute to the reduction in morbidity and mortality in the Greater Busoga region. Next is Mr. Frank Karimuzzo. May his soul rest in peace. Mr. Karimuzzo was the first Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, appointed on July 1st, 1970 for a 5-year term. A revered civil servant, Karimuzzo was Uganda's first permanent secretary and head of civil service, soon after independence until July 1st, 1970. As a Vice Chancellor, Karimuzzo mentored and helped many lecturers like Supreme Court Justice George William Kanyayamba, who were targets of the regime then. However, Karimuzzo never survived the henchmen of the regime then. He was killed while in service to the people of Uganda. Next is Gulapari Nagamohana Rao. He is the chairman, Indian Association of Uganda. He came to Uganda in 1997. He has established a chain of businesses in Uganda like Gromo Seeds and Chemical Limited, among others. He's engaged in socio-economic services like research, production, importation, distribution of quality vegetables, and field crop seeds, as well as agricultural chemical fertilizers, and very many other investments estimated at a tune of $7.5 million US. He has contributed tremendously to our development agenda for attaining the Vision 2040 by adding value to agricultural products and creation of employment opportunities to many Ugandans working in his group of companies. Your Excellency, during the COVID pandemic outbreak, he mobilized over 3.5 billion Uganda shillings from the Indian business community towards Your Excellency's effort to fight the spread of the pandemic and donated 22 double cabin pickups. Next is Dr. Stephanie Birongi. Birongi is a veterinary doctor. He's a lay reader in the Kirika Church of Uganda Parish, who has unified the parish and mobilized them to start building one of the biggest and most modern cathedrals in eastern Uganda on a self-help basis. This cathedral will also have a modern adult training center as annexed to impart skills to Ugandans. He worked with the Dutch to set up a factory, the first ever of its kind in East and Central Africa, to manufacture veterinary medicines in the country. Your Excellency, the very last in this category is none other than Onyach Onechimo Oyo. May his soul rest in peace. Onechimo Oyo was born way back in 1917 in Koro Abili Gulu district. He was a grade 3 magistrate of Chitugum and Kasese districts from 1963 to 1976. He was the founder of the Scouts movement in Acholi sub-region, aiming at developing the youth into self-reliant citizens who are acceptable in every community. He promoted interreligious denomination unity among Muslims, Protestants, Catholics, and traditionalists in the year 1940. While on the Amnesty Commission, he persuaded the LRA rebels to surrender to the government and supported the RDC of Gulu district, then the late Omoro Justin, in this endeavor. Your Excellency, that marks the end of the awardees in the category of the National Independence Medal.
Well, a very good afternoon as we celebrate this year's NRM Day, the 26th of January 2022, and of course this being one of those celebrations. And on this particular day here, we've seen General Igumba do what his predecessors, General Eli Tumwina, used to do as the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery before General Ivan Koreta, who was there, and now it is General Igumba doing that. To also just let you know that this is one of the very few times in the last about 2 or 3 years that we've seen the medals being awarded. The last time we saw such an event was still in 2020. The last event that the government organized and we saw awards being given out was on a Women's Day in Mbale, Maluku, on the 8th of March 2020 when we saw that. But to just also remind you, the medals, especially the Golden Jubilee medals, were first given out on the 27th anniversary of the National Resistance Movement, which was held in Nyakasanga, in Nyamwamba, in Kasese. That particular day, it wasn't celebrated on the 26th of January. There was a postponement to 30th January, and the government said it will do that event on that particular day, which happened in Kasese. Now, to just let you know, they've awarded 50 medalists today in 4 categories, but the very first awards that we saw in 2013, of course, which involved the Golden Jubilee medals, there were 3,500 medalists and 6 religious leaders who I remember very well, the Archbishop Mpalanyi, now gone, Emmanuel Cardinal Wamala, Dr. Joseph Serrada, Sheikh Rajab Kakoza was then Director of Sharia at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and the Metropolitan General Wanga of the Orthodox Church, who is also now gone, and Pastor Dr. John Kakembo, who was leader of the Seventh-day Adventist Union at that time, and those were the maiden recipients of the Golden Jubilee Awards. But of course, awards have been given out, and to also just remember Businge Amotu, who was the Chancellor for quite a long time, since 2008 until the time he died about 2 years ago. The Chancellor now is led by Hajat Malore Zamima, and this is now a new team, but of course the technical team in that department is still doing a very good job. Now, we have had 2 years of disruption, the entire year of 2020 and 2021, when such events were organized. They were organized scientifically, virtually, and there wasn't this liberty of giving out awards. So the awards ceremonies have actually excited so many people here, as you can see, and this hasn't been happening. Like I told you, the last time we saw this happening was in 2020 in Malukumbale on Women's Day, when we celebrated that. We also welcome now the
atukusaka emikolo buterevu okuva Kololo lunaku olwa Ameenunula. Lunaku olwa Ameenunula bingi ebikolebwa, ng'ekimu ku byo oba omukolo omunene omukulembeze w'eggwanga agaba emidaali, era nga emidaali egisoose gibadde gy'abannaffe abakoze ebyenjawulo era okuva mu bitundu ebyenjawulo. Abamu bava mu tuluba ery'ebyobulamu, ate bannaffe abalaba mu tuluba ery'ebyenjigiriza okunokosa, ate ne tuluba ery'obuyiiya. N'abo bakoze ebintu ebikyusa community zaabwe oba ebitundu eyo gye bava, nabo bageze maaso n'okuba nti basimibwa. Njagala mukkirize tubatwale ate ku kitundu ekyokubiri eky'abantu abagenda maaso n'okuweebwa emidaali.
Uganda, either through armed struggles or civil disobedience, and otherwise, right from colonial times to date. And the awardee is none other than Haj Issa Mbago. Haj Issa Mbago was born on 15th January 1951. He is now aged 70 years. He supported the liberation struggle in the 1980s through giving some assistance in the form of food to late Haj Sekindi Bugomola, who then took it to the camps. He was among those who helped soldiers who camped in Bigasa, Mukomansimbi, in directing them with the routes leading to Katonga during the struggle. He also helped in collecting the guns that were being kept by the citizens and took them back to the detachment center. Your Excellency, I present Haj Isa Mbago for the fourth opportunity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, remaining only two categories. One for Luero Triangle, which has only 4 names, and the police one, which has 16. I'll just read the names without citations, Your Excellency. Next category, Your Excellency, are 4 UPDF officers for the award of the Royal Triangle Medal, which is the medal used as the climax of the armed struggles of the people of Uganda. It is awarded to any officer, man or woman, who joined armed struggles against dictatorship in Uganda. It is also awarded to civilians who operated closely with armed freedom fighters during struggles against dictatorship. And the 4 are RO 11063 Major Sadi Katongole. Next is ROV 2232 Lieutenant Godfrey Chofna. Next is ROV 002240 Lieutenant Musa Cheyune. And the last in this category is RA 00303 Sergeant Nyakato Grace. May her soul rest in peace. Your Excellency, the last category, comprising of 16 police officers, is the award of the Special Service Police Medal, which is awarded to police officers of the Reserve Force and Special Police Constabularies who have distinguished themselves during their period of engagement. And on the list, I have SPC Subuga Hannington, SPC Kahare Paul, SPC Matovu Joseph, SPC Nyabsisi Muhindakazi, SPC Waniroth Anna, SPC Waja Ismail, SPC Serubiri Yusuf, SPC Lweje David, SPC Teng Christopher, SPC Mumbia Muhammad, SPC Biogezi Abdallah, SPC Watua Ramadan, SPC Waswa Tanansi, SPC Kiza David, SPC Sabwe John, and SPC Sharita Richard. Your Excellency, that marks the end of my presentation. I do thank you for your kind attention and patience for God and my country.
Your Excellency, we would like to request you to enjoy the cultural performance, at least 2 items by the crane performers. They're going to give us a presentation which shows actually the journey that Uganda has moved up to independence, then afterwards, now, this dispensation. The crane performers, Your Excellency.
Very many thanks, Crane performers, for that beautiful entertainment. Your Excellency and distinguished invited guests, may I request that we now all rise for the anthems. Parade Commander, over to you, sir.
Love God! Hey! Welcome! Ready up! Mheshimiwa Rais, huo ndio mwisho wa gwaride. Naomba kutoa bendera wanjani, Mheshimiwa Rais.
Distinguished guests, we may resume our seats, please. Thank you. The parade commander has requested for and secured permission from His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief to march the colors of the parade ground. That's what will happen now.
Bendera wanjani. bendera. Welcome.
Distinguished guests, that is the honor always awarded to the national colors. The command of the color party ensures that they are handed back to the military police for safe custody.
President, kwa madaraka.
With that, Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the parade commander now hands back the command of the parade to the second in command, who will march the parade off the square. Thank you very much, Colonel Armstrong Nduga. Very good performance for the day. Now, second in command, Lieutenant Colonel Betty Msuke will proceed with marching the parade off the square.
Your Excellency, we normally have the female officers command the parade when it is International Women's Day. But today, we have had the second in command who is a female officer on a day like this. But Independence and other occasions like on this occasion, it is normally the male officers. But today, the second in command is a female officer. We thank you, Your Excellency, for granting us even that opportunity.